Hi there, welcome to your practice. In this one, we're going to be doing restorative practice with limited instructions. You have more time with quiet. And so for this first position, this first pose, we're going to be using a bolster under our hips. And you can lay down on your back first, press through your feet, lift your hips up, slide the bolster under. Sometimes I find that a little unwieldy, so I also wanted to show this other option. So you're going to start your bolster more towards the end of your mat, because you want to have space to lay down once you come in. So I like to start sitting right at the front edge, and then just begin to slowly come back. And as you slide back, your hips come onto the bolster. So however you make your way there, it usually takes a moment of just kind of getting situated. You may want to rock your knees a little side to side. And in restoratives, we're really efforting as little as possible. So letting the arms rest a comfortable distance from the body. The position and the prop are doing the work of slowly opening the front of the body as you rest. There's nothing else you need to do. Last thing I'll offer is, if you would like, you can experiment with taking one leg down, extending the left leg heel to the ground. And that brings that front body opening into the hip. And you could go from side, do one side and then do the other side if you want to do that. Or you can simply stay where you are. We'll rest here together in the quiet. Let's take a few more breaths here. When you're ready, we'll walk the feet a little bit closer in towards the hips. Press down through the feet, lift your hips just enough to slide that bolster out, and then lower the hips back down. You can give yourself a moment here, maybe rocking the knees side to side. And then you could let the rock of the knees take you gently and slowly up to seated, keeping the chin tucked. Once you're up, you can untuck the chin. And this time we're going to use the blanket. So if you have your blanket already in this position, or you can get it into that position, we're going to begin to roll it maybe about halfway. So I like to leave a little bit because we're going to be bringing this under the kind of shoulder blade area. And sometimes if you roll it all the way first, it can be a little bit too much. So I like to start with a little bit less, see how that goes, and then adjust accordingly. So you kind of have to just eyeball it. You're going to bring it roughly around the shoulder blades. Head is resting on the mat. And then after you give yourself a breath or two, then you might notice like, oh, this is really uncomfortable. This is too much. Or actually, I would like to have a little bit more of an opening here, and you roll it up more. So make it your own. You'll find the position for your arms that feels right for you. And I have started here with knees bent, and that might feel best to stay here. Or you can play with extending the legs, seeing what that's like. And sometimes it takes a little time. Like I extended my legs and I was like, that's fine. And then I was there a little while and I was like, I should be more comfortable with my knees bent again. So offering yourself that gift and then settling into the quiet. Let's take a few more breaths here. When you're ready, and slowly make whatever movements might feel good. And then we'll again gently roll off to one side. Slowly come up to seated, untucking your chin last. Now we're going to come into a seated forward bend. You might like to sit up on your blanket. I kind of half unrolled mine. We're going to take the legs wide, and you can bring your bolster in front of you. So taking one hand under one hip, moving the skin out and back. Same thing on the other side. And we're letting this be simple, non-ambitious, letting ourselves be more oriented toward rest. So we're inhaling, lengthening the spine, exhaling, coming forward. And maybe you have a place you tend to go here, and you might just back off of it, even 10%. So wherever you are, you can hug onto the bolster like this. Sometimes I like to rest my chin on the top. You could have it on its side and rest your forearms on it. You could bring your hands in any position. Of course, you don't have to use the bolster at all. It's just available. Wherever you are, you can let yourself drape a little bit. And settle in. Let's take a few more breaths here. And then when you're ready, just slowly, when you start to come up, untucking the chin last. And then we're going to come into our final relaxation. So you can really be in any position that you would like. I'm going to offer lying down on your back with the bolster under your knees to support your low back. But if you have another position, you could revisit one we've already done. You could do another that you like. So totally up to you. But I'll offer this one. So we'll come to lie down. I like to have the blanket under my head for a little support. And then bolster under the knees. Legs extending. You can always put the bolster on its side if you want a taller support under your knees. So again, it's all about what is feeling most supportive for you right now. Making any shifts or adjustments. This is your practice, so you can always change your position entirely if you'd like. When you're ready, we'll rest here into quiet. You're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. But if you're ready to begin to move towards the completion of the practice, we'll take a few breaths here. And you can begin to invite some movement into your body. Maybe starting with wiggling fingers and toes. Letting your body guide you from there. And gently making your way to seated. That'll be different for each of us depending on what position you're in. But we've been going slowly. So we want to continue that as we come on up. And tucking the chin last. Once you're up, you can be in any position. We won't be here very long. When you're ready, you can bring your hands together in front of your heart. We'll take them up to the forehead. May I think of myself with kindness. To the eyes, may I see myself with compassion. To the mouth, may I speak to myself with love. And to the heart, to seal it in. We'll inhale and exhale. Thank you for being here.